Well, and the last one was about the Fed, and like I said, I interviewed John Tamny about his book. About he didn't think we needed the Fed. You're saying maybe reform and all that. I'm curious. Do you think that we're going to see anything changes to the Fed? Will we go back to the gold standard? What do you think of that?
Well, maybe the Fed will disappear someday, but again, like healthcare, we have to do it step by step to make it happen. And that's why I think I hope the Trump administration uses this opportunity to start making reforms. One is to realize the need for a stable dollar, reduce the Fed's bloated portfolio. The Fed is thinking about it maybe at the end of the year. They should be forced to do it now, let that money go to work in the economy, and stop over-regulating banks. Jamie Dimon, the head of J.P. Morgan Chase, the other day said that because of regulations, between 1.5 trillion, underline the word trillion, 1.5 trillion to $2 trillion of loans were not made that otherwise would have been made. And most of those would have been for small and new businesses. Huge cost on the economy, these regs. And then ultimately, we have to make sure someday economists and pundits and politicians and business types recognize what money is. It's not in and of itself wealth. Money is a measure of value, like a scale is a measure of weight, or a clock a measure of time. It's like a claim check. You know, you go to a restaurant, you park your coat, you get a claim check, coat check. It's a worthless piece of plastic or paper, but it represents a claim on a real thing. You buy a ticket to an event, whether it's on your handheld or a piece of paper, worthless in and of itself, but a claim on a real service.
Mm-hmm.
So money is like a claim check. And so therefore, trying to manipulate the value of the claim check just distorts the marketplace, just as if you continue to change weights and measures each day. You know, a pound is 14 ounces one day, 20 the next. Mm-hmm. Life would be chaotic. Imagine floating the clock. 60 minutes an hour one day, 80 minutes the next.
Right.
So if people grasp that, they can see just how utterly delusional and destructive this thing of trying to manipulate how you measure the value of things is. Keep it steady. Gold, for reasons we explain in the book, for 4,000 years performed the job better than anything else.
Well, you really
And by the way, one final thing on that.
Mm-hmm.
Under the gold standard, which we had in this country for our first 180 years of existence, from the time of George Washington and Alexander Hamilton to the 1970s. During that time, for all the turmoil, wars, civil wars, world wars, depressions, through all of that, the average growth rate of about 3.5% in the U.S. was the highest in human history. Since we went off the gold standard, the average has plummeted. If we'd maintained that 180-year average after the 1970s,
mm-hmm.
our economy today would be 50% larger.
Wow.
Imagine having 50% higher income. Life would be a lot better.